Hello everyone, welcome to this new video. And in this video I'm just going to show off my helicopter in flight. I did a whole section in the hangar, but it was a mess, so it's just going to be a flight video here. And I'm just going to show off my first helicopter. I got a little bit of help making it in regards to the engine and the rotor blades. I did know how to set it up, but the engine was severely underpowered. It just could not lift off the ground. And so here we go. So we are taking off here. I want to warn you ahead of time. For one, there could be some light flickers in the video. For people with epilepsy, that could be a problem. And the flight might look a little annoying by the time I try to land near the, I think, nuclear power station that we're heading to, because my joystick is broken. The yaw axis is horrible. It really distorts, so you will see that. But the helicopter is based on a Sikorsky H-19, I believe. Out of the top of my head, I'm pretty sure though. So it's a piston-powered helicopter, so it's noisy, but you can see the little exhaust there with the staining, which reflects real life. It's not entirely one-to-one, but I just decided to add a little bit of detail to this helicopter. I usually don't put a lot of detail in my builds. I don't know why. It's not because I'm lazy, it's just I want to fly, you know. But I was really proud of this one because this helicopter is the first, like, or maybe second, proper attempt at making a quote-unquote real-life helicopter in the game. Because I usually do Blender stuff and then import it in the game because I'm just not used to the build mechanics of the game in regards to vertices and mesh editing. So I tried it this time. I think it turned out okay. So this is all done in Flyout. And yeah, this thing flies beautifully. Again, when I first started out with this helicopter, it had a 450 kilowatt radial engine, which is what I saw on Wikipedia. But I forgot to read that that is at 6,000 feet. So at sea level, it should have a lot more power. I think right now it has close to 600 kilowatts, maybe a little over that. And obviously that will decline as we go up. I'll be quiet here. Isn't this an awesome game? It's KSP, but much better. And not space, but like from an aviation perspective. Because you can make anything. And the game will be updated in the future. So I don't know what to say too much at the moment. Also, English is not my native language, so I have some issues there. But this thing, I'm shocked how well it flies for my very first helicopter. And it's all being flown on autopilot because, again, I have joystick issues. Here you can see the cockpit. I did a little bit. I did make a little bit of an interior. It's not super detailed, but I thought I really like this thing. I'm really proud of it. So let's actually do some interior stuff for it. Hello, Jimmy. How are ya? Anyway, that's Jimmy 2.0 though, because the real Jimmy is on the right seat where we are sitting right now. I love the sound of it as well. It has that high-pitched whine that I associate with helicopters. It's just awesome. So as you can see, we're heading towards the power station. Now the landing is going to be interesting. Also here we have a bit of a hospital bed. It should really be a stretcher for an emergency helicopter like this, but yeah, I thought let's make the patients comfortable. But the landing is going to be interesting because I did forget to add brakes, or at least not powerful enough brakes, and the helicopter is quite light, so it tends to be blown around a little bit when it sits on the ground when the engine is running. When you turn the engine off, it's fine, but as long even with negative collective, it just wants to move around because of the yaw, which is partially caused by my joystick. As you can see here, I'm constantly going left and right, left and right. Sometimes it's stable, because then I kind of override my joystick with the keyboard. Because my joystick not only distorts mostly the left yaw, but it also keeps it there for some reason. So I have to kind of counteract it with the keyboard. And when you fly a helicopter, you really need that yaw. So I need to fix my joystick. But Here's a little attempt at landing. And yeah, you will see it's not going to end up too well. Now the landing is a bit slow. You heard me probably throttling back the radial there. That's not really a good idea. You got to adjust your altitude with the collective, because that's kind of your throttle, so to speak. The more collective, so the more plus you go, the more lift you get. And this thing has a -2 collective as well, so it can kind of push itself down, but not too hard. So landings take a little bit of time. But yeah, I really need that throttle up for that tail rotor to stay at the right speed so it doesn't twist around, you know. I might modify this helicopter even at some point with a turbine, or maybe even 2 main rotors so you don't need the tail rotor. You know, that's the nice thing about Flyout. It's your world. Even though you base it on a real-life design, you can make it your own, and that's so awesome. And I really grew an appreciation for helicopters since building this thing. I always liked them, but I'm more of a plane guy. But I'm definitely gonna spend more time with helicopters, both in this game and in Microsoft Flight Sim, for example. They're really interesting, and really just such a unique type of flying. There isn't really anything like it. You know, you've got so many different aircraft types. A glider, you've got your old piston airliners, you've got GA airplanes, you know, you name it. But helicopters are all kind of the same, aren't they? They have different configurations, but the way you fly them is somewhat the same. So here we're about to touch down, and you will see where the lightness of the helicopter plus not powerful enough brakes is really gonna also slam it into the ground as well, because I didn't have the UI open. But yeah, you can see I'm just rolling backwards. I'm trying to counteract it by pushing the nose forwards a little bit. Doesn't really work. For some reason I throttled back, but as you can see, it just doesn't do anything. So I decided, let's lift off again and fly in between the 2 cooling towers. So I'm adjusting the height purely using collective here, not with engine throttle. You can land with full throttle. So this is the end of the video, really, as soon as we fly through the tower. So if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're still watching this, thank you so much. And if you want to know anything about how I make these things, if you want to see a build time lapse or something, let me know and I will make it happen. So, hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.